Alright guys, welcome back. You're watching the RSL 3. I'm joined by Deathrow today once again. Thanks for joining me, Deathrow. How's the games been so far for you?
Exciting and short.
Yes, I think that's a good way to sum it up. We're in the middle of our first series of the day, being Verdi versus Leenock. And our third map is going to be on Ohana.
And in bottom right corner, playing from Russia, we have VP BenQ Verdi. And the top left corner, playing from South Korea, we have FXO Leenock.
Not bad, Deathrow. You're getting a bit better at this, but
yeah.
You need to toughen up your voice, man.
I tried a different build order, but yeah, I need a better voice.
Anyway, Verdi going for the standard pylon at his ramp. This time there's going to be no gate expand or gate play, I mean early gate. We should be seeing a forge, and yeah, he's just going to scout early on here. I think after being all in twice, he's going to be super careful this game. I would really like to see Leenock use some nice meta game here and just go for a big macro game, like 3 hatch, lots of drones, almost no units, but still being careful and scouting. And whereas Verdi is going to be a little bit paranoid, in my opinion, after what happened in the first 2 games. And we don't have a pull yet for Leenock. He's on 15 supply, so 15 pull actually, which is not really standard, I guess. These days, Zergs, they either hatch first at 15 or 16, I think, or they pull 14, or they make the pull before 14, but pull 15, I haven't seen that too much. And I don't think he's really trying to trick his opponent here, or at least not too much, just trying to lead his own game plan. And yeah, he's gonna follow this up with a hatchery. Verdi being very fond of those pylon blocks. Do you like these pylon blocks, Deathrow?
I'm a greedy person, so I like to go Nexus first. Well, I'm a greedy person versus Zerg at least.
Yeah, but if you were to go for Forge first, would you pylon block before making Nexus?
Yeah, of course, of course. But I would never let the pylon finish, because otherwise you're delaying your gateway and you delay your tech.
Yes.
And that's just unfortunate.
Okay. Leenock did not really want to bother trying to keep on making the hatch at his natural, so he made it at his third. And yeah, no gas yet, so I think this looks like a very standard 3 hatch build from Leenock so far in this game. And Verdi playing it very safe, making cannon, pylon, and then gateway. He did not try to do anything fancy here with making the cannon very late. He made it as soon as possible. The probe gonna be chased. And Verdi was not able to confirm a 3rd hatch here. He was only able to confirm this one. So I'm not sure if he's gonna send out another probe. He might just make a Zealot and take control of the Zelnaga watchtowers. Usually one Zealot is fine against those initial 4 links. And then if you do see more than 4 links, it can kind of ring a bell, and you might think that you're facing an all-in and you can start making more cannons and maybe opening sentry first. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. Gate about to finish.
And Verdi's going for the standard double gas, but he's putting only 2 probes on each gas. So there might be something fancy he wants to do, like maybe a quick 3rd or something that doesn't require so much gas.
Maybe a big gate pressure. He doesn't even have 16 probes on the middle in his main actually. It would be nice to fix that. He did throw down the Cybernetics core as soon as possible. He starts +1 before the core is even finished, and he starts a Zealot as well. We don't have any gas made yet for Leenock. He's droning up so hard. Look at his main. They are like fighting for the minerals, man. 4 links are positioned outside of the wall of Verdi, and I'm not sure why, but he's not sending out his Zealot so far to try to get rid of those links and maybe take some Zelnaga watchtower control, but he's just gonna stand there for now. We have 1+1 actually in the gases in the main, so I think we're gonna have a big gate aggression here. No gas has been taken at the natural of Verdi. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws down 6 extra gates here and go for the big pressure on the 3rd. Especially since he made +1 very early. He's chrono boosting his warp gate, so this is actually gonna come very fast. In the first place, he's only gonna throw down 3 gates, which is a bit surprising. Usually you wanna make all your gates at once. But yeah, it's still very early before warp gate is finished. And I think those gates, they might finish before warp gate is done, unless he chrono boosted permanently, which he's doing right now, so maybe not the greatest timing here. 5 gates were added, which is gonna bring Verdi to a grand total of 6 gates. And he's moving out now with 2 Zealots, 1 Stalker. He brings out 2 probes with him. And I think Leenock is going to realize what's going on here. He's already on 2 gases. He has thrown down his Roach Warren, which is about halfway done. And Leenock is going to be able to make a lot of roaches here.
Yeah, actually, and Leenock has a really good creep spread too to defend this.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried for Leenock as long as he can buy enough time to get the roaches out to defend all those Zealots. Because keep in mind that Verdi is limited on gas since he wasn't mining from all his gases.
But this is so fast, man. 7:48 right now, and Wargate has finished. Verdi is able to warp his first couple units with this 1 pylon. And Leenock is just making only links and roaches right now, but speed is only not even halfway done. He's going to have a bunch of roaches. He's going to need really good micro to hold this. As Verdi already has +1, those links are going to be pretty much useless. And Verdi can warp so close to the natural here. He's going to try to take the fight to the natural, being a little bit in the middle of the hatcheries. And he's actually hesitating. He's going to go for the 3rd base here. But oh my god, he has a lot of Zealots. A bunch of roaches were made by Leenock. I think if Leenock micros this very well, he should be able to defend this attack. But this is going to be so hard. He cannot mess up here. He has to stutter step against those Zealots. He cannot fight straight up. He sends those roaches for the Stalker. Speed is about to finish. He's going to need to make a lot of links from now. I think he's already made a lot of roaches. Those roaches end up being in the middle of the Stalkers. The Stalkers doing a lot of damage to those roaches right now. While the Zealots, they go to town on those drones. And this is looking very bad for Leenock actually.
Yeah, I thought Leenock was going to do super well, kiting all the Zealots for so long and having all those roaches, but Leenock ended up running into the Stalkers just like you said, and it didn't turn out too good for him.
And yeah, Leenock actually, I think he was up to maybe a few too many drones, or maybe he missed a couple inject. I think taking those 3 gases very early on didn't help him either. He would have needed just 1 or 2. That would have been enough. But right now, Leenock in a world of troubles. Verdi killing a lot here, but those Zerglings finally gonna find their way to the Stalkers, but there's just so much. A lot of roaches behind. Some of them weren't attacking for some time here. I think Leenock might have defended here. He's slowly starting to wear down Verdi's army. All the Stalkers have fallen. Verdi not really putting too much effort into microing, pulling back his units here. I think Verdi should have maybe played it safe and sniped the 3rd, but he tried to go for the kill, moved in on the natural, and Leenock, he's been microing really well this whole time. Shooting those Zealots, pulling back every time just right after. Army supply 35 for Leenock right now, 16 for Verdi. We have 38 workers for both of the players, except Leenock could actually make 15 drones at once with his 3 hatcheries. He did lose the queen at his natural, so he's not going to be able to take for some time. I mean, not going to be able to inject for some time. He's actually taking right now to lair. I'm not sure why that is. He's feeling very safe against this, but he does not realize that Verdi is actually really committing to this. I think Leenock saw a lot of Zealot earlier in this attack, so maybe he thought some deities might be coming his way, or maybe he just wants to get Burrow. I know he's so good with Burrow. If he gets Burrow, basically his attack is going to end because he's going to use Burrow micro so well. But yeah, right now Verdi really committing to this, not making any more probes. He keeps on warping units non-stop, and I think he really wants to finish Leenock right here and then. The army supply 56 for Leenock, 32 for Verdi. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if basically right now Leenock is just trying to, as hard as possible, to get Burrow, not maybe speed, but I think Burrow is more important. And yeah, Leenock going for the flank here. The Zealots are stuck behind. The Stalkers are going to take a couple of really hard hits here, but nice dual force fields here from Leenock. A couple of the roaches are going to be trapped here, so Leenock is going to try to make most of it and be attacking with his entire army while those roaches tank and die. Leenock did lose a lot here actually. 54 army supply, 234. Leenock trying to trade cost effectively. He's there actually finished. He could start Burrow, but right now he's just, it wouldn't be of any use because he's losing everything and he needs this gas to make more roaches.
Yeah, really this is a very dangerous timing for a timing window for Leenock. He has lost a lot of roaches, so it's as best as Verdi can get right now. And yeah.
And you know what? Leenock lost one of his queen. He hasn't remade it, so he's been on 1 queen this whole time, and that's his big problem right now. The money is piling up for Leenock. He's making as many units as he can. He only has 2 larvas available. That shouldn't last for long. See, he just made units. And Leenock is actually doing very good right now. With some really nice micro, he was able to target fire a couple of those Stalkers. And well, is this push ever going to end? They are still on 38 workers, both of them.
Well, as long as the main has minerals for Verdi, I don't think it's gonna end. He really wants to come back in this series while he's down 0-2.
This could go on for like 20 more minutes, and both players wouldn't make a single more walkers. Leenock's finally starting to have a lot of roaches here, moving in on those pylon, sniping a lot of those units. He started speed for roaches, and I think Leenock might have done it here. 44 army supply to the 12 of Verdi. Verdi is gonna start a robo, start 2 more gases, and most likely start making more probes. But Leenock is already remade. Okay, he's remaking a second queen. We should see him. Okay, he starts a third queen just now, and he's just gonna start injecting, joining up really hard here. And I think Leenock, he's gonna pull very far ahead just because he's gonna have that roach speed in a minute here. He could just make burrow and start pushing really hard, or basically never let Verdi take a third base ever.
Yeah, but you know, the good old Immortal Centurion on Ohana is so dangerous that I still believe in Verdi's odd just because of how ridiculous Immortal Sentry is. But yeah, technically Verdi's chances are pretty small.
Verdi started mining from 4 gases now. He's going to be able to make a couple more sentries. He's going to need at least 6 to do decent in those fights. Leenock is taking down those rocks. I'm not sure whether he plans on moving up this ramp. He does have a lot of roaches. He does not have burrow. He didn't even start it yet. He starts an infestation pit as well, a +1 missile attack. He does have, yeah, roach speed. So this is, he can move around a lot actually. Maybe try to flank this base, try to bait force fields. But yeah, realistically, he does not really want to commit so far. He knows that a couple good force fields could really do well against his army. And Verdi has halted probe production here. He's on 46 probes. And this kind of hints me to think he's going to just immortal all in, as you said. I would have thought he would have tried to take a third. But yeah, Leenock trying to bait a couple force fields here while he's upgrading missile attack, adding a macro hatch, and getting pathogen glands. Where's the macro hatch? It's at the third base.
Yeah, I think the deal breaker here for Leenock is really the infestors. The reason Immortal Centurion is so strong is because Zergs don't have fungal to kill all the sentries. Oh, and Verdi actually pulling all the probes since the main is mined out. This is cute.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. I guess some people would choose to long distance mining on the third, but Verdi is just gonna pull those probes, try to get himself some tanking units. And yeah, Leenock, he has 4 infestors on the way, which are going to finish just after his pathogen glands. Leenock is killing those rocks, which is really going to help reinforce units on whichever side he decides to fight at. This macro hatching is in full effect right now. We have 4 queens injecting permanently, 59 drones, 46 probes, and the main is almost mined out for Leenock. He's just trying to get as many units as possible to engage well here. Okay, he does engage and gets a couple units force fielded here, but it's going to give him enough time to keep on using fungal on those units. But I think Leenock might have messed up a bit here just because he didn't kill those sentries we saw. Okay, he does kill a couple now, but the first couple of fungal didn't kill sentries. The production tab being empty right now, Leenock has to remake a lot of units. Verdi is on 50 supply to the 101 of Leenock, and well, he's gonna need some majestic force fields here to basically win this.
Yeah, the first few fungals went on the probes and some half of the sentries. So it wasn't as efficient as Leenock could be, but having 4 infestors, he managed to snipe a decent amount of sentries, and the Immortals are getting sniped, and GG.
So 3-0 for Leenock in this series. Very impressive play. What do you think, Destro?
I think Verdi had 2 or 3 windows where he could have ended Leenock, but he got sloppy a little bit with his micro, and Leenock had really good kiting. When Verdi tried to end Leenock at the natural, Leenock ended up putting roaches behind the mineral line, so the roaches had a really hard time to finish them. So that was really well executed by Leenock. I really wish Verdi would have pulled through, because his build was pretty cool. So after the break, we'll be back with Leenock versus Lucifron. Don't go anywhere.